Hey, Callie, how you doing? All right, I've got your composition up right here. So let's go ahead and take a look. I want to get this fit in the window so we don't miss anything. So let me do that. That looks good, right? Okay, excellent. So there's a few missing requirements here, and I think that your typesetting is pretty good. I mean, we're set pretty good. Got some alignment issues, I think, but I think we're set up pretty well. Um, Good start. All right, let's go ahead and take a look because there are some missing requirements. So I'm going to go through the list of requirements, and I want you to know that I'm getting these from this page right here, Week 4 Assignment 4 Part 1, specifically the first introductory paragraph, as well as the information located within the instructions, the objectives, and the design requirements portions of that page. So that said, let's go through these requirements. So the object must be dominant, which it is. Okay, it's your planner. That's the dominant object. The object must be shown with somebody using it or interacting with it. We don't have that. We need an image of someone using or interacting with the planner. We must show an image which is a result of using the object. I don't know how you're going to show something, the result of using the object with a daily planner, but you have to include an image of the which is the result of using an object. Um, must include the headline design in everyday life. That's required. Okay, you don't have that. You just have design for every day. It's design in everyday life. That's required. Okay, we need a paragraph of body copy, and we need captions as well. Captions for your individual images. We don't have those. So um, okay, so white background, asymmetrical 7 by 15 or 15 by 7 in this case. Your imagery must come into contact twice with the edge of the page. There's once, there's twice, that's good. Your design must combine images that are in boxes as part of the background and cropped individually. That's cropped individually. Those are boxes with a background. Good. Full color, keep your image dominant, must use a grid. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. Now, before I said there's some alignment issues, and there are. These leading lines right here are interesting, but let's take a look at alignment. Right now, this um, headline is is pushed over to the right, and there's no alignment with the paragraph itself. So, and additionally, there's no alignment with these images with the main paragraph too. So you want to really think about alignment. Another thing that will improve harmony is using the same size boxes. That'll improve your harmony. Also, you have, let me say, that looks like two spaces after that period. You don't want to do that. It's always one space after periods. I might be wrong. It could be just the way it's being rendered, but always one space after periods. Again, I'm a little worried about the placement of this because it's pushed so far over to the right. It's almost creating an imbalance. At the very least, I would bring it over and align it with the edge of the box over here. This looks like it's a mistake right here. So you want your leading lines to be perfect. So that should form a perfect square instead of overlapping those leading lines right there. I think the leading lines are interesting. One thing I would recommend is one thing that could be interesting is take a sample of a color in here, the darker color that's in that beveled area, that kind of embossed. Yeah, it's a little darker blue in there. Maybe use that area for your leading lines instead of continuing the same main color of the planner cover itself. Um, I think you've got an interesting opportunity to use some of this design embellishment in your composition, but that's up to you. So mainly, I think one thing that we could do for continuation is these little leading lines are circles, but there's no circles. There's one main circle here, and theoretically, since that logo is a circle, you could continue that and use circles with your images. As a matter of fact, what you could do is see those little dots right there? You could use circles for your images and use dots for the frame to reinforce and kind of mimic and continue that design element right there. And then what you could do at that point is go ahead and incorporate see these square holes where the binding goes? Maybe use squares for the leading lines. That way you have both your circles and your squares. So you have your circles here and your squares here used in the actual layout itself. As far as typography goes, you watch your kerning. Okay, well, there's some areas here that need to be kerned. And then also you've got a decorative serif typeface here and a serif typeface here. You might consider introducing a sans serif. This paragraph right here is composed pretty well, but I think you're a little bit tight in your tracking. I would increase the tracking a little bit here. And then also watch your rags. Your rags are definitely in need of adjustment here as we get this angle right here, which we don't want. And now in the course announcement this week, this is all of this stuff is covered. Rags, old style numerals, justification, all sorts of things are covered in these 4 announcements right here, all having to do with week 4. I highly recommend, if you haven't already done so, to get in there and review those. It's really important. It's everything in these videos is fair game for your typesetting for the remainder of the course, and there's a lot of things in there, so it really teaches you a lot of typesetting techniques that are going to be required for this and the next assignment. So definitely want to get in there and make yourself as familiar as possible with all of the elements within those announcements. Okay, other than that, we've got some missing requirements and we've got a couple of tips here. So let's go ahead and recompile and get this ready for your submission, making sure that all of the requirements are covered and all of the typographic conventions that are covered in the announcements are present in this typographic layout. Okay, all right. At this point, if you have any questions at all, please let me go. I'll be glad to make any necessary clarifications. Okay, thank you very much.